Hi guys, welcome to Crypto Be 101, the home of value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment in general. Proof of reserve, Mercury, Binance showing what they have in reserves, KuCoin and other exchanges are following their full step. But is this going to guarantee us, is this going to make us believe we do not have problem to face regarding the FTX saga and other cryptocurrency exchanges that have suffered in the world of crypto this year? And I want to share with you today because I have so much to unveil on this episode of the update regarding the FTX saga that has been going on for about 2 weeks now. First of all, if you remember some days ago, or probably last week when the whole news broke out, I told you I do not support what CZ is doing. Why am I not in support of this? It's simply because we can't be tearing ourselves down and we want the industry to grow. That's number one. And I'm not backing whatever the fraud guy or the whole team, Alameda Research, FTX, and even some other things that came out when they did the court filing yesterday, what they did. I'm not backing it. But what I'm trying to say is you do not see a loophole or an excuse for you to now come into the game and trying to crash or destroy the other cryptocurrency exchanges so you can be the solely or the only one now running the game. And I don't think that is very good for the industry. But on today's show or today's episode, I just want to share with you things I feel we all need to be careful of, we all need to know, regardless of whatever Binance or CZ is bringing out to us out there. And first of all, let me show you this. You can see CZ says Sam Bankman-Fried was bad-mouthing Binance in DC, but they weren't in battle. You see, that is a lot of things, and I think we need to take a look from there. You understand? Because if you say they've been bad-mouthing your company and you guys are not even in battle or something like that, subconsciously or consciously, you're definitely thinking, oh, this guy is a tough guy, is a rival and stuff like that. We must look for a way to get him down. And I believe that was exactly what happened, because if CZ didn't twist that day or didn't say, we are taking all our money from FTX or we are going to liquidate all our FTT token, I bet you a lot of people are not going to rush down to FTX and start withdrawing all their funds. It's just like all these traditional bank, talking about the traditional financial way. You know that we can't all go to the bank at the same time and say we want to take out all our cash at once. It's not possible. Yes, they've been doing some hanky-panky, which is bad, using customer funds. It's not in any way a good thing. But what I'm trying to say is we do not need to tear down the other exchanges because we want to become the bad guy in the industry. So these are what I'll be throwing light on this show, because I just want us to have understanding of what is really going on in the industry for the past 2 weeks. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, you might want to do that right now. Subscribe, like, and share, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell so you can get more of this video when we drop it. My name is Ahmed Oladmeji Kazim, and first of all, what I have to show you is, you can see over here, UK lawmaker don't buy Binance evidence on FTX collapse. Imagine they ask for evidence so they can know if they're going to see how they can protect the consumer or the user in United Kingdom. Ask me what CZ or Binance submitted to the UK. They only submitted newsletters. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They only submitted newsletter, and how? How can you just do that? Let me show you. You can see written there, but Binance, the world biggest digital asset exchange, just sent back news articles in response, according to Thursday Bloomberg television interview with Treasury Committee member Allison. You understand? What is, because you told us you did due diligence for, I don't know, it was even up to 24 hours before he backed out of the game. You understand? If you did that, why don't you have concrete evidence to show? You're just sending news articles and stuff like that, which that is not a concrete one. And we can see the hatred, or I'm not going to call it the hatred because what the guy did is wrong, but I'm going to say the beef even continues after tearing down the FTX as a whole, not even talking about the Sam Bankman-Fried. You can see here, because we saw Sam Bankman-Fried coming out saying he's got so much to it, he's got so much thing to talk about, though he's not in the right state of mind, but he's going to say whatever I believe is right, and he's trying to look at how to do right by the consumers or the customer before he's not going to take on the investors. And what do we have here? We can see even Caesar came after him saying, only a psychopath can write that tweet. Binance CEO CZ on SBF. So what I'm trying to understand in this game is two rivalry trying to fight for number one spot. Both of them are guilty of what FTX is doing, but it's just on a different platform, and I'm going to explain that to you. Yes, FTX was using customer fund to trade, even to buy asset, or to even rent accommodation or buy accommodation for the employees, which is very, very bad. But what I'm trying to say is, when Binance came out with their own Merkle tree, we saw how they allocate all their assets. All of the assets are still in cryptocurrency: Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB token, and some other tokens they have on the assets. What about if those tokens to go to zero tomorrow? Tell me. It's still the same thing. It's just in a different form. And that's why, if you've been watching this channel, I've been saying you need to get all your money out of this centralized exchange. All you just need to do is put the money you can afford to lose trading on the exchange, and the other asset you're holding for a long period of time, even for a short period of time, because you don't know what who's going to be the next to fall. We've been seeing a lot of them falling this year. So for you not to fall a victim and not to be part of this saga that have been going on since beginning of this year, I would advise you just put your money in a cold wallet, or you put it in a decentralized exchange. So in case anything happens, you know it's just the money you want to use to trade. That will be difficult for you to get out of this exchange, because if they end up filing bankruptcy, it's going to be the same thing like other exchanges that we've seen. So what I'm trying to say is, proof of reserve isn't a guarantee for future, like, FTX collapse, industry leaders and all of that. I don't think that's a guarantee, because let me give you another instance. They show us proof of asset or proof of funds, show us their reserve, but do we know their liabilities? Do we know how much expenses they incur? We don't know. Let's say we now know their liabilities and all of that. Who did the auditing? What about if the auditing is incompetent? What about if the auditing made a mistake? So I believe you need to be accountable for your asset when it comes to cryptocurrency until regulation hits the space. The moment we have regulation hitting the space, yes, we now know that we have all these native banks, all the traditional financial institutions. We see that they've been regulated by having such amount of such reserve with reserve banks in case anything happens. But that is not applied to cryptocurrency because they are not regulated. And if they are not that on that level yet, I don't think you need to trust any exchanges, not even Binance. So I think we just need to take a look. I want to share some things with you. You can see right here, I've showed you when it says it was bad-mouthing them, calling him psychopath and all of that. And now by the time they ask him, okay, please give us evidence to see or to show that how am I going to call it? To show that Sam Bankman-Fried has run something that is not in line with whatever you guys are doing. You could not even bring any evidence. All you've been doing is doing interviews, printing out articles, and be sending articles to them, and that does not hold water at all. So I just want us to be careful. And now from that, we're seeing some powerful lawmakers now coming out to say they need to see a lot more concerning the FTX collapse. We can see Senator Warren demands details on FTX books, and it says the officials need to respond. So they need details on FTX books and the officials' responsibility. And we all know a letter was sent to them to bring all those things out, and they are going to regard to it. But the most surprising thing of it is I don't even know how this can come to play. And this is where SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, is guilty of all. You cannot be running a company without accountability. You cannot be running a company without even knowing how many staff you have, how am I going to call it, working for the company. That's insane. That's why I say I'm not supporting what he has done or what he's done with people's money. Even how he ran the company was not even in a good way. We saw the new CEO coming out and saying he has never seen something like that before when it comes to a company claiming bankruptcy, and now they're not checking the books. What they found out with FTX, it's so amazing. So amazing. You won't even believe what is going on, but I'm going to show you everything. You can see right here saying FTX isn't sure how much money it has or how many people it employs. The new CEO John J. Ray says, and that isn't, I don't know what I'm going to call it. That is crazy. You understand? Because, and Ray has come out to say, even at the time they were filing bankruptcy, some amount were still transferring to cold wallets. Even at the time they were filing bankruptcy, we can see FTX does not know exactly how much cash it has and still hasn't produced a complete list of employees, according to a 30-page affidavit from FTX Group new CEO, because this is the new CEO, John J. Ray, and that was yesterday. But Ray has been able to estimate that the now bankrupt FTX Group, which includes FTX.com, Trading Desk, Alameda Research, and FTX US rather, has roughly 564 million worth of cash. And now they're putting hold on all of those cash in all the banks around the world. And he and his newly appointed directors are now undergoing a process to locate all FTX bank accounts, asking the funds to be frozen and telling the institution not to accept instruction from the former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried and other signatories. So I can see that a lot of things were going wrong, and that's why, I read an article, I saw something on the internet some days ago, which they say you should not put all these kids. They can be the brain behind the technology, they can be a wizard on how to make money, but when it comes to managing the company and all of that, you need competent person, not a 28-year-old or a 29-year-old that hasn't even been through the native or the traditional financial company. You're talking about managing such a thing, and that has caused a lot of things for the industry. And we can see God mode, SBF Alameda had secret exemption on FTX news CEO alleged. And on this one, we saw that although the law presented a separate entity, Sam Bankman-Fried, crypto exchange, Alameda trading were deeply intertwined. And even right here, I was shocked because how can a single man be controlling multi-billion company? He is the one. He has him and two other directors, or I think one director, has or have the access to the straight wallet. That means the total amount the company is processing. And that means I can use the money anytime I like, and feels I will return it back. And that was what caused the problem. Because it feels, okay, let me take all this money, let me take all this money. When the bull run comes, don't worry, I'm going to get money and I'll return it back. And it backfires. And that's why they are in this mess, or we all are in this mess, because this is a slap on the crypto space, and this might take some time before it's going to wear off. And even seeing all these big boys coming to the game might be a big thing, because right now we've seen more than 5 companies collapsing in the same year, not just interval of 5 years or 3 years, in the same years. 3 Arrow Capitals, Voyager, Celsius, BlockFi, now FTX. And FTX was forming, how am I going to put it? They were forming like they're the one bailing out all these companies, but not knowing they are doing some things that will even show their own issue or bring them to wherever case may be we are right now. And now we now saw that even the creditors they need to pay is more than 1 million. How can you possibly use funds of 1 million people? That's crazy. He's going to jail him up, lock him up. We're going to hear. I feel probably he needs to answer a lot of questions. And if there's no need to even say any. We can see there's a fraudulent act in it because you're using people's money behind their back. You're using it to fund your own company. You're using it to fund your own personal lifestyle. I think definitely it deserves to be locked up. You understand? But we do not need to tear ourselves apart because if we want the cryptocurrency space to become so huge and big, we need to support each other and kick the bad actors out of the way. Now, you can see in document filed to bankruptcy in the court of Delaware on Wednesday, Chain Analysis was identified as creditor and asked for any relevant material to be sent to its lawyer. And also, we can see here that former Aero liquidator finds complete absence of trustworthy financial information at FTX. And I've said it earlier, even Sam Bankman-Fried himself took loan of 1 billion for himself, and some other executive took about 500 billion. Sorry, I said 500 billion, half a billion. That's 500 million US dollar for themselves. And we saw that they even used some money to buy house or properties for the employees, and all those properties are in employees' name, not even on the company's name. So I just feel like a lot of things went wrong with what is going on with this Sam Bankman-Fried and the FTX Alameda that they were just taking risks and they over leveraged. Magic call came and this whole saga kicks in. And we've been nursing the wound for 2 weeks now. The mainstream media have been talking about it, but I've always been telling you, you do not need to be scared or you don't need to FOMO in. All these bad news is just or are just fraud. It's fear, uncertainty, and doubt that we call it in one time in crypto, just to scare you away. And now when the whole thing bottom up, because the sentiment is we're going to 10,000, it's possible. I'm not going to say it's not possible because we can see from the chart. If you watch the show or if you've not seen our show, you can check it out. We analyze the charts and we can see structure is being formed and possibly we might break this 600, and if we break that zone, definitely we're going to go deep down, just like when we broke that 20,500 to 20,000 zone and 18,500 to 19,100 zone. So we need to watch out for that. So now we can see Voyager, one of the company acquired by FTX, are now even looking for another buyer because they want the bid to acquire them. But now, if they're insolvent and they're claiming bankruptcy, how can they continue with the deal with Voyager? So now Binance has moved on to even now reapply for the bid to acquire Voyager, and I believe they're going to win because they've been forming as a hero now, and they've been doing that. They are the untouched in the crypto industry, talking about centralized exchange, which I do not believe because I believe these guys are doing the same thing. They are just better out of all. They take risks, calculated risks more than each other. So I'm telling you, you do not want to trust any of these guys. And you can see right here, Voyager shocked, disgruntled, dismayed by FTX bankruptcy as crypto lender searches for another buyer. And you can see the right here that we were shocked, disgruntled, dismayed. That's Joshua Servo said during a Voyager bankruptcy hearing on Tuesday, according to Bloomberg report. And there will be no transaction with FTX. I think that is quite obvious. So definitely, I don't think they need to tell us that because we all know, yes, they won the bid. They were supposed to acquire Voyager for 25 billion. Acquiring the company doesn't mean you're going to pay at once. There's a way you continue the transition and all of that. But now, let's say at the beginning, because I can't even say they are the middle of the transaction, but now what happened to FTX can no longer make them continue the deal. Let's take a look at this again, and this is very important, and that's why I've always been telling you need to be careful about these celebrities, big names, footballers, soccers, I don't know, whatever you call them, shilling on some project, because whenever everything happens, it falls on you, not on them. because they might get paid to do that. Yes, they might have probably some token, they pay them with the company, then lose it, but that's not their hard-earned money. But you that you've put in your hard-earned money, everything is just going to go away and you're going to lose your money. And you can see right here, FTX lawsuit takes aim at Larry David, Tom Brady for promoting crypto exchange. And you can see a group of investors filed a class action lawsuit against the collapsed crypto exchange FTX. Its founder Sam Bankman-Fried, as well as several celebrities, alleging they were part of fraudulent scheme designed to take advantage of unsophisticated investors from across the country. And that's why, on this channel, I tell you, whenever you see something popping, everybody coming out, what did I always tell you? I'll tell you, you need to do your own research. You need to take a look at it. And if it's going to be a viable project we need to get in, we're going to analyze it, we're going to take a look at it, then we will see if we can, buy a portion of the project or invest heavily in it. But you do not want to trust anybody. We saw the news that came out yesterday. Justin Bieber lost how much? Millions of dollars, because he bought NFT for $1 million and something dollar, but the NFT is barely worth $60,000 or $72,000 as I'm speaking to you right now. So you do not just want to FOMO in or follow whatever things they're shilling for you. And now let's now check some crazy things this guy did, and you can know he's the talk of the town. You can see he's been trading and the whole internet has been talking about him, and I think it's going to be on the radar for some time, just like we have about the 3 Arrows cases, Celsius cases, Voyager, even Duquan talking about Terra Luna that wiped out close to 50 or more than 50 billion in the market. And FTX is huge. FTX saga wiped out 200 billion out of the cryptocurrency market cap market, and that is insane. Imagine someone everybody's seeing as hero now causing so much pain to a lot of people. Now let's see some of the filings they made yesterday, and you can see right here the in the above table, intercompany account receivable, account payable, loan payable, and loan receivable are not presented. Related party loans receivable of 4.1 billion at Alameda Research Consolidated consisted primarily of loan by Eway Limited to Paperbed Incorporation, a debtor of 2.3 billion. That's the loan they give out, and 3 loans by Alameda Research Limited, one to Mr. Bankman-Fried, another one to Mr. Singh, I don't know how you're going to pronounce it, and another one to Ryan Salami. And you can see the total amount. Sam Bankman-Fried talking about SBF took loan of $1 billion US, personal loan. You get it? How can you run a company like this and you're not going to have a problem in the future? From experience, I know you're going to have a problem. And other executives took more than $500 million. That is crazy. Now let's check another one right here. We can see another one here is in the Bahamas. I understand that corporate funds of FTX Group were used to purchase homes and other personal items for employees and advisors. How can you use people's money to purchase homes and personal items for your employees and even the advisors? And I understand that there does not appear to be documentation for certain of this transaction as a loan. It's not a loan. And that certain real estate was recorded in the personal name. Those properties were bought in the names of the employees and advisors. You understand? That's crazy. Also, another thing I saw from the filing they filed yesterday, and everyone is talking about the internet, is another thing, which is this: the FTX Group approach to human resource combined employees of various entities and outside contractors with unclear records. You need to get it right. With unclear records and line of responsibilities. They do not even know how much people they employ or what are the responsibilities of all the people working for them. So I can say the case against SBF and the whole team of Alameda Research is negligence, fraud, incompetence, Name it, the name goes on. And also we can see at this time, the debtor have been unable to prepare a complete list of who work for the FTX group as of the petition date or the terms of their employment. Repeated attempt to locate certain presumed employees to confirm their status have been unsuccessful till date. Let's take a look at another thing that's been making waves. We can see that the FTX group did not keep appropriate books and records or security control with respect to its digital asset. Mr. Bankman-Fried and Mr. Wang control access to digital asset of the main business in the FTS group, with the exception of Ledger X regulated by the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, that is the CFTC, and certain other regulated or licensed subsidiaries. How is that possible? I don't understand. So reading all these things, I was just like, what the hell is going on? You're joking with billions of dollars that belongs to millions of people. Do you get what I'm trying to say? They don't even have a proper account of it, and only 2 people have got access to the main where the fund is. That is not how to run a company, SBF guy. You need to know. And we can now see that the secret exemption of Alameda from certain aspect of it. Okay, this is even crazy. And I think this is where a lot of people are now starting to get crazy and want to see all the team and even the former CEO go to prison. How can you remove the auto liquidation protocol out of the list? And it's even said that if they want to make payment to their staff, it's through a chat, and they design the app. After some time, it's been wiped out. You can't even see the history. You can't even see a proof of it. See it here. Access confidential private keys and critical sensitive data for FTX group companies around the world. The absence of daily reconciliation of position on the blockchain, the use of software to conceal the misuse of customer funds. The secret exemption of Alameda from certain aspects of FTX.com's auto liquidation protocol, and the absence of independent governance has between Alameda owned 90% by Mr. Bankman-Fried and 10% by Mr. Wang, and the .com silo in which third party had invested. You see, so they have a lot of things that were going wrong, but I believe, they had this token, the FTT token, even though it's illiquid, they just believe they can print it out of the air, and by the time we have bull run, it's going to worth billions of dollars. Probably they can cover whatever they use, but you do not run a company like that. And if you're watching this video, I don't want you to fall into a company like this. From experience, it's going to drain all your money away, and the energy won't be there, and you might even lose trust in crypto. And I still stand that crypto is the future, and crypto is here to stay. All right, let's see another thing going on there. We can see they conceal the software to misuse. I've read about it. That's really crazy. And under the debtor's control, as a result of at least 372 million of unauthorized transfer initiated on the petition date, during which the debtors immediately began moving cryptocurrency into cold wallet to mitigate the risks of the remaining cryptocurrency that was there. We have another one here. The FTX group had billions in investment other than cryptocurrency, as suggested above in the description of the 4 silos. However, the main company in the Alameda silo, the venture silo, did not keep complete record, the books and record of their investment and activities. What they're trying to say here is they've got so much investor, because when they file for bankruptcy, they say they have other subsidiaries under them, about 133 companies. They don't even have good record about it. Or maybe they did, they just bring all these things out so people can have place or something to blame or whatever that happens on. But I just feel like these guys, they've not been capable, or they've been incompetent to run a big or multi-billion company like that. And let me read this, then I can just move on to another one. You can see one of the most pervasive failure of FTX.com business in particular is the absence of lasting record of decision making. Mr. Bankman-Fried often communicated. by using the application that were set to auto-delete after a short period of time and encourage employees to do the same. I said earlier on that why would you want to pay your contractors, your employee through an application that is chat, and you can auto do this? Like this thing is like, it's maybe they know they're going to fail already, or they're going to have some issues and they're finding a way to just delete the evidence. I do not know. But with all these things we're seeing, we can now see that the FTX saga is bigger than what we can even comprehend, is bigger than what we can even think of, is bigger than what we can even how am I going to call it? It's bigger than what you and I can have a total understanding about, because there is a lot more coming out day in, day out. But the truth is, this is my verdict, or this is what I'm going to say. No centralized exchange need to be trusted. Why? Because they all do the same thing. I've seen crypto.com coming out with their reserves. I've seen KuCoin, ByBit. I use ByBit, by the way, but I only put the money I'm ready to trade by with. I do not trade or put all my assets in them. I rather put it in a cold wallet or put it in a decentralized exchange, because with that, you know that if these exchanges falls off or there's a problem with them, I can fall back to my asset that are stored in the cold wallet, because they even store their asset in cold wallet. If they're keeping the asset in cold wallet, why won't I do that? Because that means they don't even trust themselves. Centralized exchange are keeping their asset in cold wallet. So that means they don't even trust themselves. If they are keeping the asset in cold wallet, I might as well keep my own asset in cold wallet and not just put it with them or leave it to them to gamble with, because they all do the same. If they don't do the same, how come when BTC was falling, BNB token and all of that to drop significantly? Is because they use it to stake and they use it to take trade against or bet against the odds. And anyone can fall the victim. So I don't want you buying the story of the Merkle tree, the proof of reserve is being shown. The proof of reserve does not guarantee another exchange is not going to fall, because we do not know their liability, we do not know the cost of transaction they're doing, we do not know all the things they're putting money in, and we've been seeing exchanges transferring millions of dollars to each other. Who knows if that is just to now show as proof of reserve and later transfer it back to each other. So you need to be careful. The FTX saga is a blow to the cryptocurrency space, and I believe we're going to overcome it. And I know all these things are happening doesn't have anything to do with the chart I'm seeing, because the chart is still going to where we predicted, even before Sessions falls off, even before Voyager, even before FTX. It's been that we are going to touch everybody know we're going to come down to below 20K. Everybody says another order block is around 8K, 12K, 14K, and we're close to there. So all this fraud coming out is just to scare you away, because I believe they want to break you, they want to destroy the market. Then they can now buy it from zero and now have a whole full control of it, and we don't need to let that happen. Crypto is the future, and I believe crypto is here to stay. So these are what updates I have for you on some Bankman-Fried and FTX saga. I'm talking about Alameda Research, which SBF is still co-founder and CEO of the company as well. I was still going to be updating you on whatever we feel you need to know more about these stories that I've been bringing, but at least we can clearly see that even CZ cannot bring a true reason or true whatever why it caused the whole promotion. Because if you ask me who caused this pain to FTX or to the crypto market, it's CZ. Because why? It took close to or more than $500 million before he announced he was going to liquidate all other assets. Why don't you say it before you go and liquidate all of the assets or take our money? So we need to be careful. No one is a saint in this centralized exchange game. All of them are doing the same, and that's why I'm doing this video, to open your eyes and you understand that all of them are the same. Put only money you want to use to trade on their exchanges, and put the other one in a cold wallet or decentralized exchange is even better, because if they don't trust themselves to leave all their reserve inside their own company or wallet they created, why are they putting in a cold wallet? you too should do the same, and I don't want you to fall a victim. Well, we can see BTC is trading at 16,750. If you've not watched the show, you might want to know what we've said or what the signal looks like, and you can help yourself. The noise, the trending, whatever that has been happening in the crypto space is been a whole hell of game. But I tell you, on this channel, we're always going to come out and analyze and dissect and have a chat with you so you can know what is going on. Feel free to comment down in the comment section. Tell us what you think about this, guys. The company CZ action towards falling or tearing the company apart, and UK saying whatever evidence he brought to the table doesn't hold water because he is not bringing something substantial. Rather, he's been giving them or bringing news articles to them, and they cannot hold that accountable for anything. And with that being said, I still remain myself, Ahmed Oladimeji Kazim. Until I catch you on another episode of our great discussion, like talking about update of what is going on in the crypto space, talking about Alameda Research, FTX US, and SBF himself. I think we need to be careful, and with time, all this noise are going to die off, and we might see a perfect way to invest back in the game. Till I catch you on another wonderful episode of this kind of discussion, I still remain myself, Ahmed Oladimeji Kazim. If you like the show, please subscribe to the show. You can subscribe right here, like and share, and do not forget to turn on the notification bell so you can be part of this great platform, because this is Crypto Bean 101, and this is where we give you value and good information whenever it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment in general. Until I catch you on another episode of this great platform, it peace out for me, and please be careful, be safe out there, and do not gamble with any centralized exchange, not even Binance, because that guy too, I can see, is a bad actor pretending to be the savior, just like we saw with the FTX former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried. Until I catch you next time, it's peace out.